Hi everyone, welcome. My name is Katie Jones and we're AiRoosters. We're a team of 5 computing students and we're excited to jump into the demo and show you what we built.
I'm Connor Thiel.
I'm Sophia Basha.
I'm Kevin Duke.
And I'm Andrew Lim.
Together, we built StockSense, an AI-powered stock sentiment and financial portfolio platform. Let us walk you through the problem we set out to solve, how we built it, and what it can do.
Let me paint a picture. Imagine you're someone who invests in stocks, maybe just a few companies you believe in. You check your portfolio every morning, but here's the thing. The stock market just doesn't move on numbers, it moves on the news. A company announces a product recall, a CEO resigns, a regulatory investigation gets open. Any one of these can send a stock tumbling before the financial data ever reflects it. But most retail investors only see the numbers, they never see the story behind them.
Here's what the average investor does today. They open one tab for their brokerage, another for Google News.
If they have time, they'll open another for Reddit and maybe a financial Twitter feed. Then try to manually piece together whether a company is worth holding.
That's exhausting and time-consuming, something the average user with a full-time job does not have the extra energy for. Most people just give up and guess, reacting to dramatic changes instead of predicting.
And even if they do find relevant news, how do you know whether it's actually good or bad for the stock? Reading 20 articles a day to figure this out isn't realistic for anyone. There's no single place that tells you the overall news sentiment around NVIDIA this week is strongly positive or sentiment around Intel has been deteriorating.
That's the gap we're filling. StockSense pulls news from multiple sources, runs every article through AI sentiment analysis, and connects those sentiment scores directly to stock price performance, all in one place.
So, what exactly are we trying to solve? We have 3 core pain points. First, fragmentation. Investors shouldn't need 5 browser tabs to make one decision. Second, context. Raw price charts tell you what happened, we give you the why. Third, accessibility. Sophisticated sentiment analysis used to belong to hedge funds and institutions, and we wanted to put it in the hand of any individual investor.
Let's briefly cover our tech stack. The front end is built with React and TypeScript, built with Vite and deployed on Vercel. Back end is Fast API Python app deployed on Azure Container Apps. Our database is PostgreSQL hosted on Neon in the cloud.
For the AI pieces, this is where it gets interesting. We use FinBERT, a financial domain BERT model, to score the sentiment of every news article we ingest. On top of that, we use the OpenAI GPT API to create human-readable summaries of what the news is actually saying about a given stock.
When it comes to what worked and what didn't work, our anticipated tech stack remained throughout the project. However, we intend to use Kaggle dataset for historical price and sentiment. Instead, we currently use Y-Finance for price data, giving us historical and present data for 40 supported tickers. News is ingested from 4 different free APIs that we aggregated and deduplicate. XGBoost handles our prediction modeling layer.
We originally planned to use Beautiful Soup and Scrappy for web scraping. We pivoted early to structured news APIs instead. The data was much cleaner and required far less maintenance. That trade-off was absolutely the right call.
One thing we're especially proud of is how the backend actually runs in production. The API is deployed on Azure Container Apps, which is Microsoft's managed container platform. When a user hits any endpoint, they're talking to a Docker container running our fast API backend in the cloud. It scales automatically and stays live 24/7. Now here's the part that was interesting to design. Our AI pipeline requires PyTorch, which is a huge dependency. We didn't want to pay to keep a GPU-capable container running around the clock for a job that only runs twice a day. So, we split it into 2 Docker images. The API image is slim, no machine learning libraries at all. However, the pipeline image is the heavy one, with PyTorch and FinBERT. We run that one only when needed as an Azure Container Apps job on a cron schedule. As you can see here, in the GitHub Actions tab, the pipeline image takes about 12 to even 30 minutes to run. However, the API image, which has no machine learning dependencies, only takes a minute or so. In total, we have 4 scheduled jobs running in Azure. Prices refresh every 15 minutes during market hours, Monday through Friday. News is ingested twice a day from our 4 free APIs that we sourced. FinBERT scores the news articles right after each news window, and price alerts are checked every 5 minutes to keep users up to date with what's in their portfolio. None of that runs inside an always-on API container. It all runs as short-lived jobs that spin up, do their work, and shut down. That keeps our compute costs low and the architecture clean.
All right, let's get into the app. Meet Alex. Alex is a 28-year-old with a full-time job. He has a small portfolio of tech and energy stocks. He is not a professional trader. He's just someone trying to make smart decisions with his savings. Let's follow Alex through StockSense. Alex discovers StockSense. He creates an account, and then logs in. Authentication uses JWT-based sessions, which is fully secure and stateless. Now, let's get to the good stuff.
Alex logs in as a new user and he sees an empty portfolio summary. He clicks View Full, and because Alex has been investing before, he decides to import his current holdings into the portfolio.
The portfolio page is a place that centralizes all of Alex's data. He's able to see the total value, the total invested money, realized gain, which is locked until after he sells, and unrealized gain loss, as well as its positions. On the right side, Alex is able to see his gain and loss by holding, as well as the top performers of today. Alex notices that in the general portfolio view, each stock is displayed in a card. The card shows the amount of shares Alex owns for each stock. He's able to add shares directly from that card, as well as noticing the unrealized gain loss. You are also able to sell directly from the card up to the amount of shares you own. Finally, this card shows the stock's performance from 1 day, 30 day, 120 days, and finally 360 days. Alex decides he wants to scroll to the bottom to see his transaction history ordered by day purchased. He's able to hide or show this when needed. Finally, when Alex needs to share his data with his financial advisor, he hits Export, CSV, or PDF, Alex's choice. After inputting all of his stocks, Alex heads back to the home page.
He sees a summary of his entire portfolio, total value, and unrealized gains. Next to it, you can also see his active price alerts, a rotating finance fact, and his login streak. We also built an investor personality quiz to help new users understand their own risk tolerance when they first sign up. And here, the What If I Invested calculator. Alex types in a date, a dollar amount, and a stock ticker. The app instantly shows what the investment would be worth today. Great for exploring historical scenarios. Now Alex heads to the stock dashboard page. He sees live ticker cards for all 40 supported stocks, current price, daily performance, and a sentiment indicator for each one. He could filter by positive or negative performance, sort by different metrics, or star any stock to add to his watch list. Let's say he's curious about NVIDIA. This is the NVIDIA stock detail page. At the top, we have our current price of the stock, the 1-day return, 30-day return, 120-day return, and a 360-day return. Under that, we have a price history chart where we have interactive buttons to show the 1 week period, 1 month period, 4 month period, and 1 year period. What makes StockSense different from any other stock app is our sentiment section. We've scored every recent news article about NVIDIA using Finbird and rolled scores up into a daily sentiment trend. Alex can see not just the price moving, but whether the news is moving with it or against it.
We also have a GPT-powered summary. Instead of reading 15 articles himself, Alex gets one clear paragraph synthesizing the key themes in NVIDIA's recent news coverage. He can make an informed decision in seconds. If Alex likes what he sees, he hits Add to Portfolio right here on the detail page. Let's say Alex wants to check his portfolio holdings against different stocks in the market. He currently has AMC, but wants to compare recent performance to AMD. He would click his portfolio holding stock, AMC, then search up AMD in the database stocks, and then here we have two ways to compare it. He can compare it based on percentage return or the price as well, given three different intervals: 30-day, 120-day, and 360-day.
On the alerts page, he can see all the 40 different stocks that we have, and he can enable an alert for when a stock falls below or rises above a certain price. And say, for example, that he wanted to put in Tesla and to see if it drops below 180, he would create a price alert for that stock, and then when that threshold is crossed, he would get an email notification and he can act quickly on what he wants to do. Below that, there's an active alert section and a triggered alert section where you can check the full history of the alerts that already been triggered.
Alex wants to check his full financial picture, so he heads to the net worth tracker. Right at the top, he can see 4 key numbers: his total net worth, his portfolio value, total assets, and total liabilities, all updated in real time. And his stock portfolio is already pulled in automatically, no manual entry needed. From here, Alex can log any additional assets or liability he has. Each one gets categorized, and the donut chart updates to show exactly where his wealth is distributed across all of it. The line chart tracks his net worth over time. He can toggle between 30 days, 90 days, or a full year to see the trend. And just like the portfolio, he can export everything as a CSV or PDF. That's StockSense. One app, your complete financial picture.
We started this project asking one simple question: why does investing feel so overwhelming when the information is all out there? The answer is that it's scattered across news sites, price charts, Reddit threads, and gut feelings. StockSense pulls it all together. The AI reads the news, scores the sentiment, and connects it to what your portfolio is actually doing, so you're never flying blind again. That's what we built, that's what we're proud of, and we hope Alex and everyone like him never has to guess again.
Thank you.